Oh shit! Oh shit! It's day 2 of the Take It or Break It Sports Person of the Year Throwdown.
Ho!
Ho! We're here with a friend to all people, a writer, the host of Locked On Seahawks, a urban development student, a huge hog, Spike Friedman. Spike, what's happening?
Yeah, good. Not much. I'm up in the Bay Area, Half Moon Bay. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's been a hell of a year, though. Am I right? What a year. What a time. What a great year. It was okay.
Yeah. Who was the president of the year, Spike?
Well, for me, it's tough to say. How are we doing this? Do I just go?
Just go. Spike, who was your sports person of the year?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so 2018, of course, the World Cup year. So for me,
it was?
Sports person of the year is Gotti. Yeah.
Was it really? Was there a World Cup this year?
Corbin, come on, dude.
Wow. All right. Yeah. World Cup in Russia, and so
Russia. Okay. Yeah.
You got to go with a big footballing man for me, but that's where it's tough, right? Because who's the best footballer in the world? It's probably still Leo Messi, but he didn't win the World Cup, so he's out. Cristiano Ronaldo, we're finding out more about him being a rapist. He also didn't win the World Cup. 2 reasons to strike him from contention. Best club soccer player this year, probably Mohamed Salah of my beloved Liverpool. But again, injured by the villain himself, Sergio Ramos, in the Champions League finals. And we lost the Champions League, barely played in the World Cup. Get out of here, Mo. Sorry, bud. You ain't invited. Who won the World Cup? We know who lost it. That was Croatia with Luka Modric, who won the Ballon d'Or, prize for the greatest soccer player in the world, but that's no good. That's not good enough for me. You can't lose the World Cup and still be the sports person of the year. That's crazy. Get out, Luka. Who won it? France. They got Pogba. They got Kylian Mbappe. I don't know. Kylian Mbappe is 19. Pogba got benched by Mourinho. No, neither. Get out. There's nobody left in the world, so we got to look at the countries that didn't even make the World Cup. What's the best of those countries? I don't know. What's the worst of those countries? America, baby. You got to look to American soccer to find your sports person of the year. Looking around American soccer, who you got? I don't know. What, Christian Pulisic? Again, too young. He could be the sports teen of the year. Maybe. I don't know. He might be 20. Get out of here, Chris.
Also Doncic, but
Luka Doncic? Get out. Too young.
Okay.
Too young. Get him out of here. Get him out. So now you got to look around the American League. You got to look around the MLS, if you will. And you wind up, you look around, you got your Bastian Schweinsteigers, you got your Valeries up in Portland, you got your this, you got your that. No, you got to look to D.C. Who is the best player in D.C., baby? Is it Wayne Rooney, the captain of the D.C. United? Absolutely it is not. You got to look younger again. You got to look pre-teen. You got to find the guy who is out there, too tall for his team, striking at the U13 level, banging in, not so much goals. He didn't have any goals this season, but did he get yellow cards? You're right, he did. He has official. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Barron Trump, your sports person of the year, the leader on the DC United under 13 for yellow cards this season. He's out there not getting red cards, but he's out there hurting dudes. He's out there letting them know what American sports is all about. Pushing guys over, dirty tackles that aren't studs up, but just enough to leave an imprint. You're talking about a big boy. You're talking about a real American boy.
What a lad this guy is. What a lad this guy is.
What a lad. What an epic lad. We're talking about a lad.
3 meals a day. 3 meals a day, this motherfucker.
We're talking about a guy who...
Applesauce. This guy's eating orange plates. He's doing it all. He's choking himself up.
Milk.
you ask me who the president of the year is, I don't care. Sportsman of the year, Barron Trump. Big boy.
Good chess player,
Big
too.
sportsman.
Good, notable chess player, too, of course.
Is he?
No, but there was a right-wing thing that was like, yo, he's actually the world's youngest chess grandmaster.
I love that. That's not true at all. He's also, whatever, he's older than the youngest grandmaster in the world. Oh, boy. Look, if I were to go with a runner-up, it would be Magnus Carlsen, but he was a coward in match 12. Made Karuna go to extra time. Get out of here. We need boys. Big boys.
Hefty.
Big American boys. I love them big boys.
Are you going to eat him?
He might. He's got all that meat. He's just covered in fleshy bits.
Ugh.
Nubbins.
Ugh.
Covered in nubbins.
Oh, so Spike's pick is Barron Trump.
Barron Trump, baby.
Okay. Okay. Well, good pick, Spike. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Hey, Spike, thank you for that. Very inspired.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, no problem.
Our next participant in the Sportsperson of the Year death match is a writer for Vice Sports and a guy who drifts from tiki bar to tiki bar, just searching for the fruitiest, umbrelliest drink he possibly can. It's Liam Pierce. Liam, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm good. Tiki drinks are a fine thing. I'm just convinced you've never had one. Is the only. Well, reason.
I don't drink alcohol. You are to tiki drinks as Wilmes is to sludge, of course, to dark beers.
Well, I guess the nice part about tiki drinks is they're great. They make great virgin drinks. Mm-hmm. For the wusses out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I actually had a really good virgin mocktail the other day. It had a pineapple and a dried pineapple on top. It was sort of working as an aromatic, and they put they put some bell pepper in the syrup, I think, and yeah, it was really good.
Hey, can you do me a favor, Corbin? Get the fuck out of here.
Fair enough.
Also, Corbin, I can see you becoming a tiki guy.
Yeah, but I don't drink alcohol is the only problem. So.
Right, but just drink the virgin version.
Just be an umbrella boy.
Everybody would be like, "Hey, the umbrella virgin boy is here."
Hey, Shirley Temple's here.
Yeah,
Mr. No Sex Tiki Drink Man.
That's right. How he talks.
Wait, no sex.
He called you the Virgin Umbrella Boy. So
that's fair.
I just ran with it.
That's fair. Liam, who is your sports person of the year?
Ooh, it took me a little bit to kind of roll through this one because there's obviously LeBron, open to school, played through adversity, played with a bunch of shitty people, still worked it out. There's N'Golo Kante, who's just a wonderful, very charming player for the French team.
He's also, of course, sold steroids to baseball players.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just profitable. And then I was thinking Drew Brees. I was going through a whole list, but I realized, I think the sports person of the year is going to be my sports person of the year is someone who didn't play or wasn't involved in sports this year at all. They were elected based on their bluster, and their prowess and their reputation, into a position of high American authority. They were, promised a new model, something different from the old, didn't really deliver. And we watched America decline as a global power as a result of what they did. And so, of course, I'm talking about Jurgen Klinsmann as the sports person of the year. He really just drove this country into the ground and, is my number one representative of just all of the ill and all of the wrong in the world at this point in time. He wasn't actually coach at any point in 2018, but his influence had a long, solid echo across the year.
This is the second USMNT pick in a row. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not a USMNT.
Well, it was. It was kind of.
It was Baron
Who else watches U.S. soccer?
It was Spike Friedman.
Oh, wow. I knew Spike and I were good friends. I didn't realize how good of friends we were.
Yeah.
Who did he choose?
Baron Trump. Who's in the system?
Kind of had like a bit of a Trump angle there.
Yeah. Who's in the? Yeah. Look. You can't talk about U.S. soccer without talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah, and it's impossible.
So Jurgen
There's
Klinsmann
only one person who supported Trump on the U.S. team, okay, that I know of.
What about? Pulisic seems like he probably does.
No.
Come on. Pulisic seems like a racist. Just
He's
a bit.
In Germany. He's
There's never been any racists in Germany. Wow. Can you believe this?
It's a new Germany. Sure, it's got a new rise of nationalism again. It's a little fucked up again, but whatever.
Okay. All right. Sure. Kristen Pulisic didn't support Trump. We'll just act like that's true. Okay.
If he voted for Bernie, would he be your sports person of the year?
No.
Who are you guys choosing?
We're telling no, you don't get to find out. If you listen to the podcast, you get to find out. You clearly won't.
The big reveal at the end. Do you guys think like your opinion's going to be like the cool big one to reveal?
We're gonna reveal ours, and then we're going to decide who had the best one.
Oh, okay.
I think that my opinion is always the cool and big one.
Yeah,
to be sure.
There's no cooler or bigger take than the one being given by John Wilmes. There's also no cooler or bigger dick. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. John Wilmes is a cold dick.
Cool big dicks.
I put it in the freezer every night just to make sure it stays.
Well, you got a little mini freezer you strap around here.
It's got a glory hole in it so you can stay warm. Is that how it works, or is it detachable?
I couldn't tell you because none of this is true.
John got like 5 into the bit and was like, "I'm fucking sick of this shit."
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I think it's also a big year for sports podcasts too. I hear that a certain sports podcast was on the iTunes.
Yeah, best
list.
of iTunes. Yeah, check it out.
Oh yeah, definitely true.
That's
true.
Who
did you bribe? Who do you know that works in Apple?
Little friend of mine named David Dobie.
I actually had to check and see if it wasn't photoshopped. Like I had to go.
Sorry, what? What do you? What? I don't know what that is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir. What? I don't. Are you? Is that some sort of tool for improving your photos?
Yeah. I don't know. I've just heard rumor about it.
Liam, are you a Russian operative?
Yeah. Yeah, Liam. What's your
I love American soccer so much. They're so good at kicking ball.
Do you occasionally think that, like, United States soccer propaganda, that the Russians are using it to stir up discontent in our country?
I will not comment on this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Jesus. Well, all right. For casting a pall of misery over the United States, our Liam Sports Person of the Year is Jurgen Klinsmann. Liam, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for appearing.
Yeah, I miss you guys. I miss you.
Oh, okay.
Back.
We're on. You can talk to us anytime you want. We're
anytime. Yeah.
Say it back. I miss you.
Okay.
Miss you.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Rack 'em.
Our next guest is a writer for Deadspin, the co-host of the Deadcast, the founder of the Classical. I presume he's had sex before. It's David Roth.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the presumption of sexuality.
David Roth, how are you doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm stuck in Maine, but there's worse places to be stuck.
Hell yeah, pimp. Hell yeah. David Roth, let's get to the gristle.
All right.
Who is your welcome? Who is your
Yeah, I like it.
Who is your sports person of the year?
So I have two options, and because I respect your guys' judgment, I'm going to let you decide which one I should make the case for, and then I'll do it. Because I was thinking about it yesterday, and they're both kind of bleakish. One of them more, I think, obviously so than the other. All right, so your two choices are Elizabeth Sweeney, that weird skier from the Olympics that just went down the half pipe and just kind of went up and down to finish last, or Kevin Durant.
I mean, I really want to hear this Durant take, but we also haven't had any women on the list yet, so I'm a little torn.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I don't think that either one of them, probably there's a better choice than either of them, but those were the first two that came to mind.
All right. Well,
I've been thinking about the Sweeney one a lot, just in general, and I'd be happy to talk about it.
Roth, it just seems like you want to do Sweeney, so please.
Well,
do Sweeney.
I would also want to do Durant. So,
all right. Well, how about Sweeney as your official choice? But we'll hear what you have to say about Durant.
All right, good. I appreciate it.
You're a friend of the show. You're not like
some idiot,
some dumbass. You're not like I can't think of somebody who I have on who I'm comfortable razzing. But anyway,
yeah, some fly by night Palucci. I can do it. I'm allowed to do it.
Palucci. Yeah, I could use Palucci. Yeah. He's such a nice boy. Though.
He is. He's super nice and he's incredibly good at his craft. Anyway. But what a Palucci.
So good at his crap. Hey yo.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, because you were talking about like hand jobs or something. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been on, so I forget the rhythms of the show. Anyway, Elizabeth Sweeney.
You were on like 2 weeks ago, Roth.
I know, but every 10 days I just wipe everything.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's all gone.
Including your butt.
Do it.
Got him. Rack him.
It's all coming back to me now. That's a cool echo effect you have. Is that new?
Yeah, it is. Anyway,
right.
Elizabeth
Sweeney.
Oh yeah.
Who is an American-born person who first attempted to compete in the Olympics as a skeleton competitor for Venezuela, and also as a pilot for bobsleds. But then she wasn't good enough at either of those. Her mom's from Venezuela, apparently. Her dad is apparently Hungarian adjacent enough that she was able to compete for Hungary as a half-pipe skier, despite no evident half-pipe skills. And at the Olympics in South Korea, she just kind of got up there and did like a leisurely kind of run down there. She didn't do any tricks. She didn't even really try any tricks. She just kind of rode down the half-pipe, went up the other side, turned around, went back, did that until she got to the bottom. She received basically the lowest score that you could receive if you were wearing skis. She finished like 10 points behind somebody that just fell down every time she tried to do stuff. And it's like just by itself, the video is perfect, and I recommend it to everybody listening. Just pure ASMR shit of just somebody just having a nice day, just out there enjoying themselves on the slopes. The actual story is more of a bummer because she's like just some cheesy kind of like fame ball rich kid. Like she ran for governor of California when she was 19. Her dad is very rich. She'd been venue shopping for different sports and different things because she wanted to be in the Olympics for a really long time. There's a lot of other stuff about her that kind of no one really knows. I don't know if she's like good or bad. She just seems kind of strange and like maybe not completely filled in. There's reasons for this that may have to do with diagnoses and stuff that are not worth speculating on. But there's something about this person with no evident athletic merit competing in the Olympics because, one, she wanted to, and two, her rich parents wanted to make it so, and three, countries were like, oh, whatever, do what you want. I don't care. It's Hungary. We don't really have a skiing culture. This is something so abstracted and like it's like the happiest version of the way that like everything feels kind of fake and stupid now. So I think that was, it felt very 2018 to me, and also like nobody got hurt. Like it's not like a depressing version of 2018.
Hey, good take, Dave.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Wilmes, what are your thoughts on the matter?
You should.
It's almost like Hungary is offering offshore bank accounts, but like for sporting glory.
I agree. It's like if Delaware had an Olympic team. I think it's really good. It's kind of like, yeah, like for $199.95, like you get to wear like a helmet that has our flag on it.
It's a good helmet.
It's a cool helmet. It's a cool flag. I mean, the country's got a lot of problems, but fucking Liz Swaney isn't one of them. She's just out there having a blast, enjoying the winter weather.
She's actually more of America's problem if she's anybody's problem.
I want to get Kevin Durant.
Now, please talk about Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, the Durant one was like more just because like he actually was awesome this year. Like Swaney did her best, like I think that like she didn't fall down at the Olympics and that's cool. Like Durant actually was like, the best player in the NBA playoffs and that's good. But there's something about the fact that this combination of him being like inarguably, unassailably excellent and then also being just like super grouchy and corny about it all that felt very 2018 to me as well. Like the idea that like even the the real like alpha performances that we got were from people that just kind of like whined constantly and seemed sad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also, I mean, the extent to which he's like kind of dominated the story about Golden State, which like I'm not writing anything off in terms of them. Like I still think they'll probably win another championship, and I'll believe that right up until the moment that they don't. But the idea that like Kevin Durant, who's like this kind of mild, decent seeming dude, is possibly like tearing the team apart just by being such a grouchy yutz is it's not the way you'd expect like a kind of a dynasty to fall apart, but they're like the idea of that being it, that basically there's just some like virtuoso millennial that makes his workplace on fun for everyone, like that also kind of feels like it sort of fits.
He is not the only person who's done that this year though, and
no, not nearly.
And even in sports, and my choice will have to do with that, so I almost don't want to sit here and talk about it.
Can you give me a hint?
He doesn't care for Fortnite.
Aha.
Okay. Oh. Huh.
Too good of a
All right.
Now I know who it is.
Yeah, I know, but right. I think most.
I know,
people...
but still, I think it's a good hint in the sense that it's not explicit.
Yeah.
It's LeBron or whatever.
Man, I'll bet you LeBron fucking hates Fortnite though. He has teen sons.
Oh, I know. How are you gonna not? I mean, it's probably just all over every moment of his life if he's not playing basketball. I'd hate it too. Have you heard the Fortnite rap song that the kid made?
No. What are you talking about?
I hate it. It's like you should ask Patrick Redford about it if you're going to have him on.
He hasn't replied yet.
Oh, well, maybe he's been listening to the Fortnite rap song, and you need to find. I'll see if I can get through.
The fact that Patrick's into that is a real like everybody younger than me is a millennial moment,
Yeah. Well, it's also he's into it like in I think the same way that like I'm into like biting my nails. Like it's not cool, and I don't actually like it, but I sort of am drawn to it. And I think for him, it's like this little kid. The lyric that sticks in my head from it is a kid who's like basically like 8 years old. Who's recording a rap song about Fortnite, saying the words "Ask mommy for the visa."
Ugh.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh boy.
Can we talk about how if you watch NBA League Pass and instead of commercials, they show like the in-stadium features, and they have like it's time for everybody in the stadium to do a dance, and then they show little white boys flossing because it's like a floss. It's because it's a Fortnite dance. It's literally the feature in some stadiums is literally called the Fortnite dance cam.
It's terrible. Also, that thing, the kids are all really young. I see on the streets of New York City, the rough streets, I will sometimes see like a 7-year-old kid, just his eyes totally dead, just flossing for no reason. Like their minds are just totally bleached by Fortnite, and so they're kind of like that's their like screensaver, and they just revert to the shit. It's so dark. It's really like
just no
like a zombie kid,
just no look on their face.
Like the little fucking zombie kid hitting the shoot dance outside of an H&M while her mom's on her phone. Like, no. Bad. Really bad.
In this spirit of anhedonic flossing, I am now imagining Jerry West doing the wobble.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, same. Satisfying, actually.
That once again, it's always back to Michael Jordan here. Like,
because you can imagine him doing these dances.
No, because when Michael Jordan hit the wobble, he was thrilled to be hitting the wobble. And me and Wilmes, we're all on board for Sports Person of the Year 2019 being Michael Jordan,
right?
Because he's finally just allowing himself to just like love life and indulge in pleasure, and like these fucking kids today with their Ray Allen 3-pointers and all this horse shit. They that's the thing that's burrowing deep into them and turning them into little floss dance monsters. They need to find Michael Jordan's sort of pure enjoyment of healthy hedonism, and they need to emulate Big MJ.
I do think
I so respect that you guys have just decided that this is what's happening with him, because to me he looks like exactly the same just kind of embalmed monster that he looked like before.
How dare you? But
I read it in the Daily Beast, man, so I know that it's true, that like he's actually living his best life and having a great time, and his eyes turned red for a natural reason. That probably had to do with enjoying himself.
Yeah, because he's fucking partying, dude. That's what happens when you party hard. Your eyes turn red.
Tequila Jordan will save us from the hegemony of Fortnite dances.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's going to be like, if he sees a little kid flossing and with nothing in his mind, he will give them the Malik Monk "fuck is wrong with you" boot on the head to get them to reset them, and then they'll be like, "Oh man, I want to run suicide. I want to like do push-ups."
Yeah, they want to go play for Boylan.
Exactly. Yeah, they're gonna go play for fucking King Boylan. Once MJ gives him the what the fuck head tap.
So I briefly considered Boylan for Sports Person of the Year because I've enjoyed him so much.
He's been taken.
Oh, who said him?
Joey Devine.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Yep, it's a good choice. Can't beat it.
I also would have taken him, and I suspect Wilmes would have taken him too.
Also,
that was honestly part of my thought process. Is I was like, you're not going to come on fucking John Wilmes' podcast and be like, "Hey, you guys know about Jim Boylan?" Like, I feel like that would be rude. That's a real like, can you please pass the jelly moment.
Also, David, and to our audience, if for some reason you haven't listened to part 1 of this yet, Joey Devine tells a story about Tim Hardaway basketball camp, which is one of the greatest stories ever told on a podcast before. So,
I will check for that. There's a particular one about a Dennis Scott basketball camp that I've always been, I've been fascinated by, and I wanted to like report it, and I never really got around to it. But it involved Dennis Scott showing up at his own basketball camp and giving like kind of like a rant about like white supremacy, but mostly it was about how like he'd been underestimated and people just thought he was a one-dimensional player or something, and then him like getting into a Mercedes and driving off.
Yeah, I've heard this before. I've heard this before.
Yeah,
he gives
a
like
really
an
powerful
insane.
story.
Yeah, he gave like an insane speech in front of a bunch of kids.
Sounds like Talladega Nights.
It does have that. It has like a kind of a similar vibe, except for it's like 1992 and all the kids are 11, so it's like a very different sort of thing. It's like kind of like a Ras Kass like Illuminati thing where you're just kind of like, why do you think it's a pyramid? Why do you think it's a pyramid, Tyler? And like some kid's like, I don't know why. And then like it just sort of, goes on like that for 10 minutes and then he leaves.
Well, David, I just got another guest confirm, so I'm going to have to ditch you.
Oh, good. Good. That's great. I look forward to being ditched. Hey, thanks for making me a part of this. I look forward to winning Sports Person of the Year with my take.
Thank you.
And I'll be happy to claim my winnings at your leisure.
Winnings for sure. Money, absolutely.
The one thing that we all associate with this podcast is getting paid for appearing on it.
Wait, wait, are people complaining about this?
I am.
All right, fair enough.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Our next guest on the Taking a Break at Sports Person of the Year Throwdown is the editorial director at SB Nation. Is that still true?
No, editor at large.
I like that. That's fun. and he does other stuff too. It's Shut Down Fullcast and other stuff. Anyway, Spencer Hall. Spencer, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Corp? I'm going to call you Corbin, even though in my head you're always Corbina, because
that was my Twitter name for a very long time. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But I'm going to call you Corbin. Although I'll call you Corbina if you like. I work with the appellations people want.
Please, whatever you want. But Corbin is my name. Corbs, is a common moniker. Big Corbs.
I'm not from the coast. I can't do the.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't effortlessly do the plus S on the diminutive that people do, right? Like Dan Rubenstein, who I worked with for a long time at SB Nation, he would say blueberries, but he'd say bloobs, and you could hear it in my voice. It doesn't come out well.
I feel you. It's definitely a West Coast thing. I don't think Wilmes say bloobs.
Oh, bloobs.
Nah.
Yeah, you sound like you're from Chicago. Am I right?
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's
how the fuck do you know that, man?
Accent.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spencer writes about college football, and I feel like college football writers have really precise knowledge about a bunch of different parts of the country.
We end up having that not only because you interact with readers and fans from Starkville, Mississippi, or from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, or from Boise, but you go to those places and the only thing to really sort of pay attention to is the people and the things they do or say and how they're ever so slightly different, because I think that may be when you say, well, what's at the core of like college fandom or even like minor league or sort of B league fandom, for me that differentiation that are like tiny little striations between things, that's the real like gourmet content there, right? It's not it ain't the ball, because the ball is all over the place. It might be good, it's often bad or mediocre, middling, or unpredictable, but the little things culturally that make the difference, like I feel like that's something that maybe NBA writers sort of have a handle on. It's not anything NFL people understand.
Oh, no, of course. No, because every NFL team is exactly fucking the same, and all of their fans are just sort of minorly different appropriations of a type of American.
Right. It's area man.
Yeah,
that's it. Like
bingo.
Area man is who the NFL markets to. And they don't really necessarily even try to have that kind of thing, which is fun because, like, I got to watch an MLS team actually try to do that here in Atlanta and succeed, which was shocking.
That's wild. That is truly wild. Spencer, you are here on our Sports Person of the Year podcast. We are going to ask you who your Sports Person of the Year is, and you are going to tell us.
Sports Person of the Year.
I didn't prime you, so I'm going to give you a second to think about it.
I really, if I had to give you the serious answer,
you don't. I will say you don't.
I don't. Oh man, that's so good. Because man, there is no, for my particular beat on this, the Sports Person of the Year is somebody who you probably don't pay a whole lot of attention to. It's Tua Tagovailoa, because he's the first quarterback to come out of Alabama that actually mattered, and that's in the best team and the most, dominant team of their era. For somebody to sort of change the formula like that is at least on the field fascinating, because Alabama's never valued quarterbacks. They've just, they're like, who do you love? They're like linebackers and a kicker. That's kind of who they've always loved. It's just a big meat grinder, right?
It's really beautiful that they love kickers, though. That's admirable.
I mean, kinda.
Beautiful. I'm crying.
There's also like, I always feel like the slight like racist element to that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Whoops.
When it comes to SEC fans, if they're like favorite guy is the kicker, I always have to press 2 or 3 questions past that just to make sure. I'm like, do you like him, or are you just looking for a white guy? Is that really what you're grabbing for here? Because I sometimes feel like that's the case. I don't think it is. For people who love Georgia kicker Rodrigo Blankenship, you should look him up. He's got a big, beautiful pair of glasses. Maybe I should make him my sports person, since I actually care about him. Rodrigo Blankenship, sure, like a pretty good kicker for Georgia, because
He's just as memorable for me as Tua Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa is the academic answer, though, right? Where you go, fine, I'll give you an answer. It's this guy. Although, can I throw in another bet for Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald's he's like the best athlete alive right now. It's not even close. If Aaron Donald wanted to play midfield for Real Madrid, I give him 2 years. 2 years and he'd be there. He'd be terrifying because he'd be like a 260-pound midfielder.
All right. This Rodrigo Blankenship is a...
I like the glasses a lot.
Yeah, it's a real statement.
Yeah, no, I like Aaron Donald's a real serious answer now that I've kind of roundabout gotten to it, But at the same time, I'm fine with Rodrigo because Rodrigo won. He basically, if you designed a movie, if you wrote a movie that was, college football movie, and I asked you to design the kicker in 2018, there you go. Uh-huh. But the cool thing about him, if I had you design the kicker in 1988, he might also look like that. He's like Lucas Haas, the kicker.
What?
He's also number 98, which is a crazy number for a kicker.
Yeah, no, he pulled like a 300-pound number as a kicker, and they went with it, right?
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
98 should be out there laying out people on like blocks, and instead he's lining up to kick a 35.
You know what else 98 might work for? Just like an unbelievable hunk.
just a stunning. There was a guy that Iowa had once who was kind of looked like Chris Hemsworth, if you can imagine 80s Chris Hemsworth. He was gorgeous, and
in all honesty, there's not a lot of difference between current Chris Hemsworth and 80s Chris Hemsworth in my mind.
It's like muscle tone. They're just so much better. They're so much better about the nutrition and the weightlifting. Yeah. It used to be in the 80s, they would just be take steroids for 3 weeks and we'll see what happens, right? Do some push-ups. Yeah. Come onto the set, Now it's no, we will. Chris Hemsworth's biceps are an engineered product that was designed years in advance, right, for you to consume. And you know what? Pays off. It pays off. The man has
more soulful actor than he needs to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Funnier. He's a great comedic actor. But this dude on Iowa looked like somebody asked Iowa head football coach Hayden Fry why he got him the job, and Hayden Fry just smiled and laughed and said, "I like the way he looked coming out of the shower."
Wow.
He had a huge dong. Look.
Yeah. Hey, starting defense, place at the table.
Yeah. Thor's hammer, man.
This is Stormbreaker. It's the next edition.
Yeah.
Corbin, I'm sure Spencer, you know this as a college football aficionado, but did you know that the Iowa college football team paints, or I don't know if they do this anymore, but they would paint the inside of the visiting locker room pink to sort of emasculate them?
What?
It's something they would do. It's a mind game they would play on the visiting team.
This is there's a couple of these. The reason that Kinnick Stadium's visitors locker room is completely pink, according to Fry, was not because it was a feminine color, but because he has a master's degree in psychology and he remembered reading that the most soothing color was pink.
Oh. He wanted them to feel as if they were in the womb.
Now to his credit or detriment, I've never seen Hayden Fry cite this paper. I've never seen anybody actually come up with evidence that this is true. So he might have just done it because he's like, LOL, girls' color. But there's another team that does it. A minor league team in South Bend, Indiana does it. And while it's not a color, Alabama's locker room is named after Alabama's visiting locker room is named after a wealthy donor who understood the purpose for naming the visitors locker room this. The dude's name is Jerry Fail. So when you are going into the visitors locker room at Alabama, it is called the Fail Room.
Wow.
It's a brutal sport. It's a brutal sport. Spencer, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, hey, no problem. I'm glad I could give you 3 answers to a simple question.
Yeah, of course.
You're good.
That's like watching Ben-Hur there, man. You got to set aside an afternoon.
It really. All right, we're here with a noted lawyer, a tall fella, a publisher,
Mosley's the publisher.
Oh, so, pardon me, the owner of a publisher.
Affiliated with it.
Yeah, sorry. Or does your dog own you? You know,
probably more like that.
Can I call you cap space expert?
Aspiring cap space expert.
Yeah.
It's ACE is the acronym there.
Anyway, it's Damon Agnos. Damon, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am unbelievable. We're blazing through these today.
Oh boy, I heard you had Masick on.
No, we haven't had Masick on yet, but we're gonna have Masick.
Oh, you haven't?
In a second. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to be here.
Damon.
Yes.
Who is your sports person of the year?
Well, I've been thinking about this a lot since you told us about it a day or two ago. And Julian took one of the ones I was considering in Vontae Davis. I thought that was a terrific choice. And as both of you know from our private conversations last year, my sports person of the year was Nate Duncan. And actually it was his second consecutive year of winning the award. He won it in 2016 as well.
Of course, yeah.
But this year, I'm going to switch it up because there was just a virtuoso performance. John Travolta as John Gotti is my sports
person of the year.
Yes,
is John Travolta in his performance as notorious New York gangster John Gotti in the motion picture Gotti. Now,
yes,
Damon, I have to point out, you are maybe working at the edges of our definition of sport, so please justify for me.
I knew that this would come up.
Gotti. Yeah.
Well, do I need to tell you why Travolta as Gotti is spectacular, or do I need to tell you why this counts as sports?
Either thing, both things, even maybe the second thing and then the first thing.
Well, so it counts as. I was thinking that Gotti as Travolta as Gotti. This is mixed martial arts. With a big assist from Pitbull here, who did the soundtrack. Both some songs where he raps. The intro song is just spectacular. It's basically Pitbull's version of a Bond song. We could play the whole thing if you want. I have it here, or whatever parts of it you want. But one of the lines in there is if you hit us, it's a prize. Essentially, this is prize fighting, and they do. It is a sort of mixed arts. They perform their violence in a number of different ways. It's not just punching. It's not just kicking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, etc. It's a creative way of fighting, and you have to be versatile. Also, this year in MMA, there was a lot of talk about New York gangsterism. Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov had record-setting, in terms of the pay-per-view or whatever fight. It was a big fight that had been hyped for a long time, but before that, there was a lot of bad blood and fights between their crews, and then McGregor threw a dolly at a bus in Brooklyn.
Sorry, a dolly?
A dolly, like you wheel, like you'd wheel some luggage or heavy boxes on.
I thought you meant a DOLLIE there for a second.
You mean like a little kid would have?
Yeah, like a
that would have been funny.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Yeah. No. So McGregor threw a dolly at a bus, and what did Khabib say here? He says, "I am laughing inside. You broke window? Why? Come inside. If you're real gangster, why don't you come inside? This is big history gangster place, Brooklyn. You want to talk to me? Send me location. I'm going to come, no problem." So there's, and then later Nurmagomedov, when they still hadn't set up the fight with McGregor, fought Al Iaquinta, and took some more kind of shots at McGregor, sort of obliquely there, and talked about how Iaquinta took the fight on basically no notice, and Nurmagomedov dominated him, but didn't finish him. Went 5 rounds, and he talked about how he was talking shit to Iaquinta in Iaquinta's corner. He says, "But with Iaquinta, it does not work. He keep going. He is real Brooklyn gangster. He is not Burger King. He is real gangster." So there's a lot of talk about being a gangster in MMA. Also, in the lead up to the Nurmagomedov McGregor fight, McGregor took shots at Nurmagomedov's manager for allegedly being an informer and called him a snitch, which again is something that is dealt with extensively in Gotti.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of overlap there. So I think it does qualify as sports. Now, if Roth comes on later, you can talk to him. He's the expert on whether things are sports or not. But
we just had Dave on. So
well, missed opportunity. Oh well,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So John Travolta as John Gotti. Now beyond the question of is it sports?
There's one thing I do want to note here is I'm kind of leaving myself open here to some criticism because Khabib is talking about Brooklyn gangsters and Gotti's from Queens.
Certainly, yeah.
But in the movie, there's a really important scene where Gotti is thinking about becoming the boss. And he's going to have to make a bold play here and knock off the current boss. And he's talking to one of his trusted, friends. And the guy tells him, says, if you're going to do this, you're going to have the support of all 5 boroughs. And it's a great scene because then he lists off the boroughs while he counts them on his fingers, and one of those boroughs is Brooklyn.
Okay. All right. I think you locked that one down for everybody. Now,
I think that people should watch the movie. Those sorts of details are what make the movie. Not in many movies would they list the boroughs after they say you have to have support of all 5.
Exactly.
If you see the movie, you don't really have any doubt about whether it's sports or not.
Thank you, John.
Have you seen the movie, Wilmes?
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, Travolta is, peacocking to a degree that can only be considered sports. Like it's definitely more sports than it is theater, I would say.
Oh wow, okay, all right. That's interesting because it's an endurance-y type performance.
Now, the movie got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that what happens a lot of time is that Hollywood gets confused. They don't know what sports are.
Oh, yeah. These film critics, they were sitting down to a movie when they should have been sitting down to a bowl game.
Exactly.
To an Alabama LSU showdown.
Right. That's the type of humanity we're seeing on display here. In moments such as when John Travolta says to his son, "What's that movie you like? Some about spaghetti, meatballs,
spaghetti and meatballs." Travolta, you got to hear the way Travolta talks in this too. It's can I play just the intro too before you hear Corbin?
Please go right ahead.
Let's listen to the intro.
All right, I'm gonna crank the sound up here.
Let me tell you something. New York is the greatest fucking city in the world. My city. I was a kid in these streets. I started in a fucking gutter, and I made it to the top. This life ends one of 2 ways. Dead or in jail. I did both.
Now Pitbull comes in.
Yeah. I mean, a sportsman himself, Pitbull, of course.
Indeed.
Probably our more sports musician, Pitbull, right?
I don't know. I mean, Huey Lewis might still have that title.
Oh, well, yeah, because he named his fucking album Sports. Come on.
Yeah.
That's some art boy shit, if you ask me.
Homonyms are art boy shit?
Yeah, you're goddamn right they are.
Okay.
Well.
So what else do you want to know, Corbin?
I don't know. Anything else going on with you, man?
No, I just got back from Buffalo.
Oh, cool. Your wife's family out there?
Yep.
Cool. How they doing?
Yeah, everybody's good.
Cool.
It's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
They excited to see your child and stuff?
Yeah, and her cousins were there, so it was fun to watch them all run around and have fun.
Good. They do any you get any bets in on their games?
On the Buffalo games?
No, on the games that your child was playing.
Oh no, it's kind of hard to.
I don't want to say your child's real name, but
yeah.
But
no,
Emily's Gotti's been training. Gotti's been training, and we think she's going to dominate this race. We got $20 on it, or what?
Yeah. No betting yet. Give it a year or two.
Shame.
Yeah.
I've decided to just add somebody to this call.
All right, who's coming on?
Bring him in.
We're bringing him in. So just don't be surprised when he picks up.
Well, those gunshots at the end of that song are so great.
I'm so happy.
The first 10 minutes of Gotti are such a triumph.
Are you just going to watch the first 10 minutes of Gotti now?
No, I had to pause it. I mean, I paused it here where he's talking to the bosses.
Mark.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, it's ladies
Mark,
and gentlemen, our
next
next taker on this magic carpet ride is the author of Kaboom, among other things, I think. Mark Masick. Mark,
the forthcoming Kaboom 2.
The forthcoming Kaboom 2, the reboom.
How do we pronounce it, Mark?
Mark Masick, where are you?
Shit, we lost him.
Mark, you rotten.
Gotta bring him back in.
You rotten jerk. Or he's putting headphones in. What's going on? Masick, what's going on?
Sorry, I'm using these bootleg AirPods that I got for Christmas, and it might have been a mistake. You guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yes.
Mark Masick.
So, Mark, how do we pronounce Kaboom 2?
I go K2 Boom. What do you think?
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. It's spelled K2B22M. Mark is using the Derek Jeter trick of turning letters into the number 2.
Turning letters into the number 2. God, I love respect because it's just not even close. Retuped.
Yeah, ours makes a lot more sense if we're being honest.
Mark Masick, the world wants to know, what is your choice? Who is your choice for sportsperson of the year?
All right. So it's been long established that it doesn't have to be an actual athlete to be sportsman of the year because, of course, Hitler was sportsman of the year in 1938.
He was.
Because
of the wonderful job he did hosting. Because of the wonderful job he did hosting the Olympics.
I think he was a 2-time sportsman of the year, and also because Bob already picked modern Hitler, Portnoy, earlier.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be an actual athlete. So my sportsman of the year is a no-brainer, and it is Gritty.
Honestly surprised he lasted this long. Masick, tell us why Gritty was the sportsperson of the year.
So the sportsperson of the year should really transcend individual athletic achievement and kind of impact the world as a greater whole. And Colin Kaepernick kind of faded a little from view this year. LeBron, he opened a school and it was really good stuff. But who more than Gritty, who became a literal symbol for the fight against the growing fascist movement? And I think of no better representative for the hope that we still have for our great nation than Gritty.
Gritty, of course, a large orange man with wobbly eyes. He has become a leftist symbol somehow. I wish I had more to say about Wilmes. You got anything to say about Gritty?
Everybody likes him.
Yeah, who doesn't? Imagine not liking him.
I think the Gritty culture jumped the shark a little bit toward the end of this year. Too many people got into it, and some takes were written that were ill-informed. One of them, I remember, within the lead, the writer said, what's more American than taking sports too seriously? And I was like, you probably shouldn't be writing about sports if that's...
Yeah, that's also like, I don't know if you've met a European.
Right. No, exactly. And I think a little too much of the hashtag sportsball crew has jumped on the Gritty train recently, and they don't understand the struggle. And Gritty understands the struggle, and the original adopters of Gritty do understand the struggle. We just need to get all these fake leftists off of the wagon.
Wait, but real leftists are fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just had an idea. What about a Philly presidential ticket of Gritty and Dion Waiters?
It's time. God, Dion has had a... Oof. It's been a rough one for Dion. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
Just because he's had an ankle injury?
Well, yeah, and he's reverting to his pre-Miami state a little bit, and
What do you mean by that?
He's a little. He might be a little out of shape.
Well, how do you stay in shape when you can't run?
I didn't realize that Pat Riley was sending you notes for this podcast.
Yeah, he can't run. He's got his foot in a boot.
Ever since he listened to our series regarding.
You need to have Lena on here so she can name Pat Riley the sports person of the year.
Okay, I'll see what I can do about that. All right, Mark.
Well, not that I'm trying to tell Lena what she should do, but I would like to hear her talk about Pat Riley.
Mark, Damon.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks.
I'm reading this article now about Gritty.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's talking about Philadelphia as the ancestral home of this country's political culture.
What?
A site of revolutionary anger.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is true. First capital of the United States, not Seattle, as you guys try to claim.
Yeah.
It's well, Seattle's the current capital of the United States because that's where Amazon is based out of. And the only thing that's left of the United States is the specter of global capitalism. So
the whole state, Washington, is the capital.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that.
Yeah, even Vancouver.
Washington, D.C., District of Crane. It's Fraser Crane.
That's true.
Oh,
we got any more puns in us on this one, or?
No, this is some real sub-replacement level action.
Yeah, these are some hard puns. All right, so thank you for your contributions, gentlemen.
Hey, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Happy New Year,
guys.
The microphone on. Turn me up in the headphones. All right, our next guest is...
it's Eric Anderson.
Yeah, wow, okay. We don't... apparently we just don't do ceremony anymore here.
Gundy in the house!
Big Gundo. What's happening, Gunderson?
Dude, not much right now. I'm in Central Oregon.
Oh, hell yeah, pimp! Which part of Central Oregon you in?
I'm currently in Sun River, actually, right now.
Oh, goddamn! What are you going to wineries and shit?
No, just out here with my girlfriend and her family, and so we're just having a nice time out here in the snow, and it's sunny here, which is great. So yeah, very much enjoying. The only thing that's pissing me off right now is I was taking off my new poncho, which I really love.
Oh no!
And one of my AirPods fell out, and it's somewhere in the bedroom, but I can't find that one AirPod right now, and it's driving me fucking insane.
Well, maybe the lesson here is don't own AirPods.
Maybe, but they also usually work really well, and so that's the shitty part, is that I really liked them. And so, I mean, it's around here somewhere. That's the most infuriating thing.
Is that it's like around?
It's around here, but it's just not. I can't find it.
Hey, do you guys know the word perennium?
Yeah, it's the space between your gooch. Yeah.
But do you know that it also refers to the time between Christmas and New Year's?
I did not know that.
We're currently in the gooch of 2018.
We're in the gooch.
We're in that gooch.
Yeah. So wait, which one's the nutsack and which one's the dick? Christmas.
I think Christmas is the dick.
And
that's what I think.
And New Year's is the nutsack.
No, you know what? The Christmas is the asshole. New Year's is the dick.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
One is Anyway. We don't have to go any deeper into that metaphor.
Well,
no, we don't.
No, we do need to go deeper into assholes, though. Ow, eating ass. We're playing the hits, people.
Hey, Eric, who's your sports person?
I've had heartburn all morning, and I'm sorry that it took me a minute to get to our call, but I had to get some Perrier's to drink because we don't have any Tums.
Wow,
fascinating
Perrier,
stuff.
Not even drinking La Croix. You're just going for that good shit.
Yeah, I'm a fancy Perrier. Normally what I like is a Perrier and lime. I can't drink lime. I've got heartburn. Thank you.
Acid.
Thank you, Gunderson.
So my sports person of the year, is that what we're asking?
Yeah. You're
yeah.
You know, this is I've had a lot of deliberation, and I think I was swayed last night. I got to say that the sports person of the year is Seth Curry. Just with an amazing performance, beating his brother Steph for the first time in his career.
Wait, is that true?
Last night was the first time he's ever beaten his brother Steph.
Oh, boy.
And so as a little brother myself, I'm very happy to see a little brother make it on the big stage. So I'm going to say Seth Curry, also fighting through injury, missing an entire year, and then coming back and beating his brother right before the end of 2018. I really think that Seth Curry is the sports person.
Now, Eric, I just want to say that I think there's some people out there who might accuse you of engaging in some recency bias with this pick.
You know, I was willing to take that on. You know,
just because of how much you believed in it.
Yes. I so much believe in Seth Curry as the player, as the sports person of the year, that it was just hard for me to really imagine the blowback.
Yeah, the haters just meant nothing to you.
No, this is all me making my decision,
and this is all from last night for the most part.
Basically.
Okay.
It all happened last night.
Because the rest of his year has been pretty ignoble. Speaking as a Portland Trailblazers fan, there's been times where I think people were actively annoyed by him.
Also, I didn't want to come on here and be like the LeBron boy, to just be like, LeBron's the sports person of the year, because I write about him all the time. And
you do write about him all the time. That's true.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also can't name him sports person of the year because he's a choker.
That's true.
Right. He didn't. Yeah. He didn't win. At least Seth Curry is also adjacent to the Warriors dynasty.
Right.
Exactly.
On this podcast, we call him LeChoke.
Who won more titles last year? Seth Curry or LeBron James? Well, let's see. Seth Curry won at least half a title because his name is Curry.
Right.
LeBron, none.
0.
No titles.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't get titles for making your 8th straight NBA finals.
You don't. You really don't. And he went he went 3 of 5 in those finals, you know?
I mean, a fraud.
Look, big muscles. Don't get me wrong. Huge muscles on this guy. But also, does he have the mental muscles?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if he can get over it in the heat of the game. I mean, here's the thing. LeBron in any actual yes, he would be, but he's already going to be named sports person of the year by every thing.
Hack.
Yeah.
Just say it. Every hack out there.
It's the easy way to go. I think runner up for me is Michael Jordan.
So, I mean, obviously we've been talking about MJ. And
I think third would have to be Boylan.
We think we've talked about MJ and Boylan. We think MJ's gonna have a big 2019.
Really?
Yeah, we think we're projecting him for sports person of the year last year. Although just the fact that he slapped Malik Monk upside the head,
I think he's just getting warmed up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you don't want to say that he's, you don't want. I can't think of a metaphor even. Like the year before Jesus dies, you say Jesus is the guy of the year. Like you don't want to be that guy.
I actually have another guy that's kind of somewhat out of left field take, but I think he was a sports person of the year without a doubt. Was Kawhi Leonard.
Why?
Because his entire situation was just drama. He destroyed the greatest franchise of the last 20 years in the NBA almost single-handedly. He completely Tony Parker left, Ginobili retired. They ended up getting DeMar DeRozan, and their team is DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus now. He left them in shambles, and Popovich is just like the NBA's grandpa now. He's not even he is a great coach, but it's Kawhi Leonard eliminated him from relevance.
Mm-hmm. You're saying Leonard because he destroyed Popovich.
Yeah, and he destroyed the Spurs' mystique single-handedly.
Yeah, he actually kind of did.
Also, the laugh.
Also,
the laugh.
Also, that time he laughed.
I think one of the most sort of stunning moments of humanity.
Is when it turns out that's how Kawhi Leonard laughs.
Yeah, let's all do our impression. Here's mine.
Actually, when we say Kawhi Leonard, should we really be saying Uncle Dennis?
What? Who's Uncle Dennis?
Uncle Dennis.
His wild uncle. I remember
his wild uncle, who all the media blames everything on. Like, Kawhi's doing this because of wacky Uncle Dennis. Like, I love him as a character.
Because you're saying because Uncle Dennis was the one who destroyed the Spurs.
Yes, I think Uncle Dennis was a mastermind in destroying the Spurs.
He saw old man Greg Popovich, and he said, I am also an old man, and I know how to destroy an old man, and it is with a young man.
And that's how Kawhi Leonard gets on my ballot for Sports Person of the Year.
But your choice is Seth Curry.
Yes.
Okay.
Certainly, Uncle Dennis is the sports uncle of the year.
I can't even think of who's second.
I don't think that there's maybe LaVar Ball.
I'm sorry, what? Is this a real thing?
LaVar Ball has a brother named Laval.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And I think he's a runner-up for Sports Uncle of the Year.
QR. Is there like a how many?
It's LaValle, and he just looks like an inflated version of LaVar.
Oh, do you know what his other brother's name is?
No,
it's Lorenzo.
Gosh, dude, that family they're flipping the concept of L's into a W.
All right. Boo.
That's actually pretty good, Eric.
Boo.
Because they've never lost. Get it?
No,
they've lost though, but they've definitely lost.
I have so much sports brain to just like unload right now for 2018.
Everything you haven't been able to use yet.
No, also the ridiculous spectacle that was LiAngelo and LaMelo Ball playing basketball in Lithuania, and I would actually watch games in the middle of the day instead of watching actual good Champions League soccer. Mm-hmm. I would be watching second division big baller brand classic games between Lietuva or whatever Vitaitis was the team name. See, now I know this team, Vitaitis, who is not, I don't even, is in some small town in Lithuania. That happened this year. And now, it's just completely been forgotten. But it's that was freaking ridiculous. That, I was taking time out of my day to watch two teenagers play ball against other teenagers in Lithuania.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So...
I feel like I'm not being engaging enough. I need to... All right, I'm up.
That heartburn.
All right, I'm up. You're the last person we've had on the show who can lament the lost episode with me, Gunderson.
Oh, God.
Sick of hearing about
sad
this
they had
thing.
so many good takes.
Yeah, there's just so many good takes.
I'm sick of hearing about it.
I know, but it was just such a good episode. What am I not supposed to talk about? What could have been?
With Scotty chiming in, talking to
that's the thing, is that I can never replicate talking about the kale salad and having Scotty go, oh yeah, I know the kale salad guy.
His name's Josh or something like that.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm a lost episode truther. Didn't happen.
Oh, fuck.
You guys making this shit up.
I won the episode, Wilmes. You can't take that shit away from me.
It didn't happen.
Wow,
I won that shit.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that this is the stance that Wilmes has decided to take. I mean, I can.
It is 2018. It's pretty standard to just say that didn't happen or that's not true.
Yeah,
without any actual evidence.
Well, you don't have any evidence that it did happen.
I had the scorecard that I did on the paper plate.
You could have just drawn that.
Come on, Wilmes. There's plenty of evidence. I was there. Heiken was there. Eric was there.
We're all be lying together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sean Heiken, known liar. Come on.
No conspiracy mastermind Heiken was colluding with us.
Yeah. When I think about a guy you could trust with gossip about a conspiracy, number one is Sean Heiken, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Listen, it's been great to talk to you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We got to get...
Oh, yeah, we got Lewis now, so we got to go. All right.
All right, guys. Well, say hi to Lewis and Seth Curry having a great 2018, and he's going to have an even better 2019.
Wonderful. But not as good as 2019 as Michael Jordan.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's going to be the Currys and the Jordans forever.
Thank you, Eric. We're here with friend of the show, the most relaxed man in the universe, Lewis Keene. Lewis, how you doing?
Hey. Good. I'm doing good.
Okay, good. I just feel like I asked a question. I deserved a response. Lewis, who is your sports person of the year?
My sports person of the year is... Actually, I don't know their real name. It's a few different accounts online.
Uh-huh.
Account number 1 is the one and only Buff Streams.
Uh-huh.
Account number 2, Ripple Dottis. And account number 3, Velocity Wraps. These 3 accounts provide 90%, maybe north of 90% of my sports viewing these days.
Uh-huh.
And over all of 2018, it's allowed me to basically not watch any TV at all. They've reduced my watching of commercials when I watch sports. And I suspect this is the case for many more people who listen to the show and who are either unplugged or just spend way too much time on their computers. These are the guys that do the quote-unquote illegal streams online.
Quote-unquote. I mean, this is not law that Lewis recognizes at all.
I don't... Look, the whole idea of common law is that illegal streaming is only illegal when it gets shut down. If it isn't shut down, then it's totally.
It's not cool. Like the cops are going to kick down your fucking door and say, "Lewis Keene, are you watching Buff Streams?"
No. Then Buff Streams.
That's never happened to you.
Buff Streams.
It'd be funny if it was constantly happening to Wilmes. They just had him monitored.
Yeah, I've been in jail so many times for Buff Streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just switch to Ripple Dottis, and all you have to pay is it's pay what you want, and then you pay a couple of ad pop-ups that you close very quickly. Most of us listening to the show, I'm sure, have practiced the closing of ads that pop up when you click the play button so many times that they have the hotkey of Command W at the ready for when the first click comes up, and you never even see what the it's almost like a confident wave, when you're like sneaking into a gated complex, you just like kind of give a confident wave to the security guard. That's what it's like with the hotkey Command W. Anyway, these guys are heroic. Like, I don't know how, most people don't have League Pass because League Pass sucks. I paid for League Pass for 7 or 8 years. I would split it with a few friends. That shit just doesn't work. Buff Streams,
it is not a good product. I share it with Wilmes, but
Do you ever actually use it?
Yeah, I do. I wish it didn't stink.
I get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I use Wilmes, and Wilmes is in the media. I'm also in the media, and I could probably get it for free. But
what? Who do you get it for free from?
Who's
like the NBA?
I just get a link every year.
What? Well, there's also 2 other websites that are pretty good, which, if you've listened this far in the show, you deserve to know. If you ever need to, like, replay a game, there's 2 good websites. They're a little bit more porny, though. NBAHDreplay.com.
And Pornhub.
And Pornhub. And NBAHD.net. And they upload maybe like 4 hours or so after the game. It's pretty reliable. You can stream on either of those. But yeah, I don't know. It's I feel like these 3 accounts are responsible for people being as tuned into national NBA stuff as they would be without watching TNT or ESPN or whatever, which only really shows you the Lakers and a few other teams. The Lakers, the Warriors,
the Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Like, I don't think people would be nearly as into Luka Doncic as they are now without these accounts.
My sports person of the year is not Luka Doncic. Just like
the
field.
It's the field. Anyone but him.
Yeah, just because people wanted too much. That's the thing.
I'm so fucking sick of the BuzzFeed Hamilton Slack energy that it's leeching onto the character that is Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Look, Luka Doncic is good. People. Oh, that's nice. Aretha Franklin just started playing on my computer. People.
The cops are gonna fucking kick down my door and say, "Are you illegally streaming Aretha Franklin right now?"
Yeah, people deserve to enjoy Luka Doncic.
Nah.
I mean, they do. Okay, they do, but the energy is just so like.
The Doncic hive is neoliberal.
Yeah. There's a bit of a neo-lib energy coming off of it. It's a little too satisfied with itself. You don't think, Lewis? Am I?
He's really good, and he's really fun to watch, and he's handsome.
I'm not talking about him.
Yeah, we're not talking about him. We're talking about the energy that's collecting around him.
Okay, but the problem with BuzzFeed Hamilton Slack isn't just the BuzzFeed Slack part. It's also the Hamilton part. That's a crucial ingredient.
You're right.
Wilmes, I gotta say, that's a really good point.
It is a good point. I can't deny it. The main thing that annoys me is what Corbin just referred to, this sort of self-satisfaction of a lot of these stands. And they act as if, like, the draft is a video game, and you can just take the best player, and, like, the Suns and the Mavericks and the Grizzlies, or the Hawks, or whoever the fuck could have technically
It was
taken.
the Kings.
The Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Suns, the Kings, and the Grizzlies. Okay? And they're all like, oh, and I guess technically Atlanta could have. But anyway.
Yeah. The Grizzlies went fourth after.
Everybody acts like, there's nothing going on behind the scenes, and Doncic's representatives made, no sort of effort to sort of try to steer him into a specific situation, and in no way sort of dissuaded other teams from taking him. And if there isn't like sort of non-basketball concerns in who you take with a high draft pick when you're trying to like build a market for a team, and a lot of these teams don't have a market. They don't have a big fan base. They're not selling a lot of tickets. And everybody's just like, look at you fucking idiots. Like, these fucking idiots who passed on him. And I'm just like, take it easy. You don't know what happened. And also, like, who knew he was going to be this good? Like, I knew he was going to be good. Everybody knew he was going to be good. But this is a little out of control.
I'm not really that surprised, if I'm being totally honest with you. He was the best player in Europe last year. Like, it's the closest thing you can get to a sure thing is a dude who is dominating another professional league, as opposed to all these other kids who just like spend 2 years bum slaying.
Sure, but I mean, there's an argument to be made that's dominating the Euro League is kind of bum slaying. I mean, who's like Doncic's best teammate?
The Spanish League is the second best league in the world. His best teammate was Anthony Randolph, who was in the NBA for a very long time.
Okay, but what did you just say? His best teammate was Anthony Randolph.
Yeah, but Anthony Randolph is a... I mean, he's
an upstanding young man.
First off, I don't know how I feel about the Anthony Randolph slander on my show. This is some New Warriors bullshit.
I'll tell you what, though. The Anthony Randolph Hamilton slack. That's a whole other. That's worth unpacking a little bit, because people talk about Anthony Randolph like buff streams existed back in 2008, and it didn't. So I don't know what like I look. I respect Anthony Randolph. I remember the hype. He was a free Darko essential, but like, it's not like he was on some. It's not like he was, captain of the We Believe Warriors or something like that. He's kind of like a hidden treasure that a lot of more people act like they've seen before.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I think a lot of the Anthony Randolph standing is a reaction to the people who too quickly treat players as like property or assets, who were like, get Anthony Randolph out of here. He doesn't know how to do anything. And the reaction is to say like, hey, I see the humanity in Anthony Randolph. I see the potential in Anthony Randolph.
And he had a good career. And Anthony Randolph has a good career. He just doesn't have it in the NBA.
Yeah. Maybe. Why do you think the Kings? I think that any team could have taken Doncic. It would have been the Kings, and maybe they didn't take him because they had Fox. But they also have so many like good European players on the Kings. It would have been fun, and they're run by.
I think the thing that Wilmes was saying was that I think that Doncic's representation made it known that is not a place he wanted to be.
I'm imagining. I mean, it's not as if they pulled like a full Eli Manning on the situation. For all we know, they did. But I mean, he's got representation.
And also, Doncic had the kind of leverage where he could say like, also,
I won't come over.
Yeah, I'm making plenty of money here. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's very clear that Dallas is the best place that he could have landed.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's obviously the best situation he could be in. They're well capitalized. They have a good training staff. Nowitzki's there. There's just 50 reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Has anyone nominated Jerry West for Sportsman of the Year yet?
No, not yet. I'm afraid not.
It's not too late. All right, so now you guys are going to unpack what my rating or what?
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
It's too much work.
Yeah, no.
We've already put too much sweat equity into this shit.
Wilmes is starting to resent this task pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it in his voice.
I'm glad we got to talk about Doncic, though.
Yeah, thank God. But not enough white people are talking about Luka Doncic right now.
Yeah.
Lewis, anything else going on?
New Year's coming up. I'm recovering from a cold. And, I just added both of you guys to the BCC line of a draft of an email. I'm sending out, I think I'm going to send it out around New Year's. That I don't want to talk about more because I want it to be a nice surprise in your inbox.
Oh, wow, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I hope it's some very high quality pornography.
Also, question: Corbin, do you have a VHS TV?
A what?
A VHS player?
I have one.
I do not have one, although I could acquire one fairly easily.
What do you mean?
They sell them at Goodwill.
Oh. Okay. All right. Good to know.
Okay.
All right. Have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right. You guys have New Year's plans? Anything exciting lined up?
No, not yet. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet.
Too many things. I might just do none of them.
Oh hell yeah!
Hey, trim this part off the end.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Hey, follow me on Twitter at @thisLewis.
Yeah. Come on, everybody, follow Lewis on Twitter.
I lost a follower in the last 24 hours.
You did? No! I'm so sorry to hear that, Lewis. Everybody's just really concerned about Lewis's follower count lately.
Look, if I can just get it to 2,000, you won't hear anything from me after that.
Yeah.
There's just a critical mass where, I don't know.
I recently figured out that Wilmes has more followers than me, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't think that's true.
Wilmes.
I don't. But anyway, let's.
Oh yeah,
off.
you don't. Never mind. All right, my bad.
Yeah. All right, see you guys.
Hey, are any of these posted? All right, bye.
Bye. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
At the blessed conclusion.
Wow.
Of this very long, nearly 4-hour-long podcast.
Oh my God!
Ugh. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you know who I feel like right now?
John.
Who I feel right now is my sports person of the year.
Yeah, John, we're going to start with our sports people of the year, and then we are going to decide who the winner is.
So, this is a person who, throughout their career, has played beyond the boundaries of their physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've recorded past my physical boundaries the last 2 days with this year-end bonanza. Now, this person, before they suddenly were injured, was playing. Well, they were injured probably because they were playing outside of their body, I will argue, in this paper. But right before this injury occurred was giving me my best sports feelings of 2018. And, of course, I'm talking about Chris Paul in the Western Conference Finals, when he was really just putting the Warriors in a corner and doing a shimmy next to Steph Curry.
That was good. That was fucking good.
I've never quite felt.
And there's the type of person who fucking hates Chris Paul.
Right.
They're wrong.
I don't know what's wrong with those people.
Yeah. Get your fucking house in order, dude.
Listen,
if that's the kind of life you're fucking leading.
When you say that, you are for some godforsaken reason probably speaking to well over half of our audience. This is just a widely hated man. I don't see how people can feel that way. Tragic when he got hurt at the end of that game. So much sports feelings, though. This sort of feeling of redemption, the sort of feeling of David finally, getting one on Goliath's chin, and then of course that bitter, sort of tragic disappointment when the injury came. So this is a conclusion I've come to after sort of talking to a bunch of people for this and had more time to reflect. My original suggestion was going to be a tie. I was going to have a tie. I was going to have two people. It's going to be Jim Boylan, of course. And I was going to say Jordan Peterson.
Oh, okay.
Because takes are sports, and let me tell you, that guy had some takes.
That guy's taken the fuck out,
And he has really held up the mirror to sort of what masculine identity is in America.
Yeah, and it sucks and it's stupid.
It sucks and it's stupid.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of the function of sports too.
I think a little bit is to show you that masculine identity sucks and is stupid.
Right. Yeah. So in those ways, I thought that maybe he could have been the sports person of the year. But really, we're talking pure sports feels. Chris Paul in the Western Conference Finals really just got my heart beating in a very positive way.
Yeah. Man, if you don't like Chris Paul, you're not me.
Certainly you're not me either.
Yeah. And I'm a Blazer fan. And I know these other Blazer fans, and their opinions about Chris Paul, man, they're bad. They're bad. They're bad opinions about Chris Paul.
I'm with you.
Yeah. He's cool. And people will be like, he flops, he complains. He's dirty. This is all okay, cool.
It's all part of the hustle.
Cool. Exactly. That's the thing. Okay. Chris Paul is a really spectacular. It's a great athlete. But his career is just built on stringing together all these little tricks and hustles.
Yeah.
And for a dude who's doing that, he's had an unbelievable career.
Well, and he's had to do that more and more because when he was on the Hornets when he was younger, he was probably the fastest guy in the league, if not, he was close to it, if not the fastest guy in the league. Of course, he tore his ACL. Was he still an elite speed guy after that? Yes, but not quite as much as before. I had to rely more on craft. Now he's had compound injuries. The same injury he got during the Western Conference Finals, he's gotten again this season. That's why he's not playing right now. So I'm looking for. He's got a whole max contract to play out though. So I'm looking forward to Chris Paul playing with even more old man game than he already has, which is really saying something.
Look, and look, he hasn't had a great year. Maybe he's going to need to get into the lab a little bit, figure some new things out. But if anybody can do it, it's our man CP, I think.
Meanwhile, my guy James Harden is holding down the ship. I honestly almost chose Harden.
Yeah,
because I fucking love watching him.
Yeah, I also fucking love watching people get mad.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
so he won the MVP last year, but for 2 of the 3 years before that, he was second place twice. And this year, it's looking like he'll be a top 3 vote getter for MVP. He could win it again, honestly, the way he's playing right now. But again, another guy people hate. And so that's part of what I'm going with here, too. People that shouldn't be hated as much as they are because they're fucking awesome.
Everyone in the world is just jealous of James Harden.
That's exactly true. The beard.
Yeah.
The play. Now, does he travel occasionally? Of course. Do I give a shit? No, I don't care. I don't care.
I'm not a cop. I just saw a bad account on Twitter say about Lance Stevenson, hey, I know watching him play basketball can be a little frustrating, but if you hate him, man, that's cop shit. And it's like, no, that's not cop shit. It's human decency shit. Lance Stevenson's not a good person.
No.
But if you hate on Harden, that's what cop shit is, because there's no stakes to the thing that annoys people about Harden.
Corbin, what does it say about sports culture that Chris Paul and James Harden have way more haters than Derrick Rose and Lance Stevenson?
It's not good. It's bad. You know what? Maybe that might be unfair on Rose's part. But even then, people don't sports hate Rose at all, though.
Well, I don't sports hate Rose.
I do sports dislike Rose.
I know, that's just sort of irrational.
No, it's not. But
I mean, you're entitled to your irrational sports hatred. Most sports hatred is irrational.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but he's even if you look at what he admitted to in the trial, it's all heinous. And then if you have any ability to close read a situation, you can probably infer that he is more than likely guilty of the crimes of which he was acquitted. Which are, of course, heinous by all definitions of the word. So, anyway.
My sports person of the year is a wing, 29th pick in the draft, out of Marquette University. It's Jimmy Butler. And there's a lot of reasons for this. You want me to? I guess I'm gonna go one by one on this.
Tell me, dude.
Part of it is that Butler, I think, as we're running up against the limits of statistical analysis and what it can accomplish for you in building your team, I think that we're starting to find out that the other thing that you need to build a decent team, in addition to good tactical acquisitions and applications, is you need people to get along. And I think it's been incredible to watch Butler, who is more or less an ideal modern player, blow up teams just because he's an asshole. And I think it's telling of what the next big thing is going to be in acquiring a player, which is acquiring somebody like honestly Chris Paul, who is about creating a competitive environment and not just complaining about your teammates and how much they play Fortnite. Now, the other thing about Butler is that the specific things that made him mad are, I think, maybe telling of where we are right now. Butler had to go to J College He went to Marquette, which is not exactly which is a good school, but not a powerhouse. He went for 4 years, and all of a sudden he's in a league with when he gets to the Wolves.
Corbin, let me reframe that real quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, Dwayne Wade went to Marquette, so it's not like
It's a good.
I think you're missing something there. They have been a Final Four team this century. So.
It's a good school, but he went for 4 years, and he went 29th in the draft, and he gets to these Timberwolves teams, and he's playing with Wiggins and Towns, who have both been notable prospects since they were teenagers, who went literally to Kentucky, a factory for producing NBA talent.
Kentucky and Kansas.
Pardon me. I forgot that Wiggins went to Kansas because I'm stupid. But anyway, they went to schools that are factories for NBA talent, and Butler got to these teams and has worked his entire life, and sees these guys achieving in a way. It sees these guys who've had all of the advantages he didn't have, who are succeeding less than he is, and it drives him fucking crazy. And I think that Butler's mindset is so deeply rooted in a meritocratic society, a society that sort of presumes that he was always told and always lived by the belief that if he just fucking worked hard enough, he would be able to achieve. And he did it. He clawed his way into the NBA. He clawed his way into all-star teams. He clawed his way into big contracts. It's impressive.
Well, and then he ends up in a situation on the Timberwolves where, despite all of this, the team has, through folly or not, decided to give the biggest contracts to the other two guys who he's better than.
Yeah. And he, and especially in Wiggins' case, but also in Towns' case, they were given contracts basically on the merit of their draft position. And Butler isn't being rational in a real way, I think. Like, you need to address things sort of as they really exist and not as your wild ideas about them exist. But insofar as how society is structured and what they tell you makes you successful, Butler is not incorrect about this. What I think Butler's story shows us is that we have to fucking give up all of our fucking ideas about what is supposed to make us successful. And we have to sort of embrace living in the moment and working with our fellow man towards common goals is the real metric of success. And, we can't be Jimmy Butlers because, does that guy seem happy? Probably not.
I think he does in Philly now, but we'll see how long it lasts.
We'll see how long that lasts, though. Like, eventually Joel is going to turn his leg and get a little fat. And Butler's going to be mad again. But, you can't, that can't be what you base your happiness on,
So, Corbin, let's go through, see what we thought was best of all of these, this gauntlet of takes.
Okay.
I have a distinction I want to make, though.
Okay, go right ahead.
There's a best take and there's a best take execution.
Okay, all right, cool. Let's hear.
I thought the best take, somewhat indisputably, was Julian Rodriguez with Vontae Davis.
Yeah, I think it's hard to deny that Vontae Davis is probably the man of the year for retiring mid-game because he was tired of getting his ass kicked. It is the greatest instance of giving up imaginable. And here at Take It or Break It, we support giving up. We celebrate giving up. Underrated. Very underrated. And Vontae Davis, he just saw the end, And instead of bleeding himself out for even one more fucking second, he said, I'm done. I'm with you, Wilmes.
Execution. I found Spike Friedman's surge very inspired.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. It had us howling. It had us hollering.
It did. We were
quite literally
howling and hollering. I wish I didn't just agree with you. I kind of just do, though.
I mean, I think that we got it down. Now, best story?
Well, certainly Joey Devine talking about Tim Hardaway wiping mustard off on his shirt after he was named most inspirational.
Now, I hope this is the year, talking 2019, I hope this is the year that the NBA or the Basketball Hall of Fame chooses to forgive Tim Hardaway and let him in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say let Joey Devine in.
Well, I think Joey should be in there too, but...
Yeah, Round Ball Rock's a really good show. They should let Joey in.
Yeah, they should let Joey in.
They should be like, Sean Keane, Joey Devine, we love the Dunked On segments. We think they're really funny. You're in the Basketball Hall of Fame now, bitch.
That's right. So I want to wish you a Happy New Year, Corbin.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. You too.
I really need to take a shower.
Mm-hmm. I need to edit this. Also, I've got one more interview to do. I'm just going to put it after this one, just to
be a fucker.
Yeah, just to be a fucker.
All right. Hey, man. Hey, everybody. Be good. Be gold.
Thanks for listening this year. Thanks for subscribing if you do. If you don't, get over there.
Get logged on.
Me and Wilmes accidentally didn't do an episode this week, but...
Well, we did a lot of this, so...
Yeah, we did a lot of these, so... We're, we have more Michael Jordan content in the new year, more sports content, more disgusting things that we just say about athletes for no particular reason.
Coming up, though, clean episode.
Oh, yeah, we're doing a clean episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah, shouts to At Work the Cycle for inspiring the clean episode.
Yeah, we're going to do a clean episode.
It'll be a fascinating work and restriction.
Yeah, you got to be a clean boy in an upcoming episode. Anyway, so thank you everybody for listening. Wilmes, thank you for joining me, and of course for joining me on this journey.
Journey shall continue. See you later, bud.
Peace out. Our last guest to name their sports person of the year is a host on Blazers Outsiders. And a social media consultant.
Okay.
And a person who's sick right now. It's Alex Haig. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing fucking great. How are you?
Okay. Oh, wait. What is this like? I finally get to curse kind of thing?
Yes, dude. I have oh my god, I have blue balls. Let me just fuck.
Fuck, because you don't get to curse on Blazers Outsiders unless you're Shane, but.
Yeah, he gets to. I don't get to. Yeah. I'm off immediately if I do.
Yeah, they go. Get out of here, Alex.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Alex.
Yeah.
I've been recording these for 2 straight hours, and I did 2 hours yesterday.
Wow.
So I'm tired. I just want to know, who is your sports person? Who is Alex Haig, sports person of the year?
So wait a second. You said you've been recording this for 2 hours straight?
Yeah, and for 2 hours yesterday. Yeah.
Wait, well, how many people are? I don't get it. I thought I was the exclusive guest.
No, I've had 10 people. 20 people probably.
This is not what I agreed to, dude. Not at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Oh, well. Huh, okay. I guess she hung up.